What are you gonna do? The odds are stacked against you. Back against the wall, gotta give it your all. This is the final stand. The power's in your hand. Two worlds collide on the inside. You gotta fight for what's right before it's gone, gone, gone. This is back and gone. The odds are stacked against you. Back against the wall, gotta give it your all. This is the final stand.